We awoke to a gorgeous sunrise, but it was bittersweet as our time together was coming to an end, but there was still one more mission we had left to do. But before the day's adventure could get underway, a quick message from future Alex. We are out here in Rwanda, day one in here, and we've run out of water already, but luckily there's some springs down in the tea plantations and we can use the soya squeeze to filter this delicious water. And a reminder why we're out here raising money for Pure Water for Africa. Here's a little show what they do. Pure Water for Africa is a not-for-profit that provides clean drinking water to communities all across the continent. They do this by providing communities with the exact same filtration system that I've been using to get my water, the soya squeeze, which removes 99.999% of bacteria, protozoa and microplastics. This allows consistent access to clean drinking water in even the most remote areas with minimal maintenance needed. I, for one, am super grateful for the work they're doing. It is absolutely incredible, and anything you can do to support, head on over to the link in the bio and do what you can. And now, back to the adventure. The final stop for the boys all together was the mushroom farm, but it was to be found at the top of a 15-kilometre rocky dirt road, and let's just say some of our equipment was not up to scratch. We are well and truly out here. My tyre has burst 3 times. I had to get the pump out, pump it. Same one on the side wall, so it's really weak. But this is so fun. This is why I built this bike, to go uphill on this kind of stuff. It's just a shame the tire's giving up, but I'm loving this. Just as we thought this segment would never end, we made it to this. This place was a perfect send-off for the boys and comes highly recommended if you ever find yourself along the lakeshore of Malawi. This would spell the end for our time together with Jack. He had been a truly incredible companion, an absolute workhorse, a gentleman, and an all-round great friend to have on a bike journey. I couldn't have asked for anyone else to have done this with. His positive attitude, his big smile, his bigger heart, and his terrible pool playing skills meant that he was an unmatchable addition to the crew. Big ups, Jacko, thank you for everything, and goddamn, those matching suits look fine. But we weren't about to let him get away that easily without a bit of last minute work. So when you can't get the pedals off, it calls for drastic measures. After that anticlimax, the real goodbyes were finally upon us.
Safe travels, man. I hope everything goes smooth. I hope you party hard with those models, man.
From high to by.
But as with anticlimaxes, when it rains, it pours.
So when the battery drains, we use jump stand through the motorbike.
With the motor not working, Kai was lucky enough to get to hold the bare wires with his bare hands. After a couple of attempts, it finally got going and Jack was out of here. And like a mouse on a wheel, I had no idea what to do with myself. Despite the sadness, the boys couldn't lounge around forever, and it was time to pack the bags and get on the bikes. Although, thanks to my tyre mishap the other day, we might have to stick around longer than expected. And it's just completely opened up. Luckily, thank you Jack yesterday when you left, gave me his spare tyre, which should be fine. I have one chance to get this on, because you got a CO2 canister to get it back on the rim, and if I don't, I'm fucked. one chance. The sealant's leaking out, just gotta go for it. The ghost of Jack had brought us back to life, and we were on the road heading downhill doing some proper mountain biking. The way I'd absolutely manhandled that road had caused us some serious suspects. At least these guys were a lot less suspicious and just happy to have a good dance to Kai's mega tunes.
And the German one.
Hey Kai, I had a novel thought that why don't we get up and ride about 100 k's on our bike?
Get up and ride 100 k's on your bike?
Just thought it might be a bit of fun, might be something different to do.
I say let's give it our best shot.
With breakfast in our belly, we rolled on out as the road slowly turned to dirt. Not only had the road turned to dirt, but we were beginning to go into the mountains of southern Tanzania as we approached the border. Gee, it's like the size of my forearm. Actually, fucking huge. It's like 2 meters long. After splitting up momentarily and Kai definitely not getting lost.
I got lost.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
We'd made it to Tanzania. You're going to invite your guests to dinner? And believe it or not, it wasn't just the flies that came to greet us because our old friend was back. We got 2 wins! Had to look that word up. It's been 50 days since I had him. But we were rolling along at like 45 k's an hour. Beautiful scenery, big smiles. How's the first taste of chaos?
That was wild. Wild.
Welcome to Tanzania.
Welcome to Tanzania. Found Waldo.
Phew! As much as we were enjoying the chaos, it wasn't all butterflies and rainbows. Ah, well, except that one. Oh, first rains of the season. Good timing. You cannot say that we are not out here.
Pretty fucking nuts, dude.
So having pushed through the dark and the rain, we found a quiet bar and went to bed. With slightly sore heads, we arose on the day of rest, Sunday, and that meant only one thing in Africa. We dropped into the church service for a spot of singing, and by the time lunch came around, Kai thought it was his turn to act.
Shine, Tanzania knows my heart. Hold me every time I love.
It began with just one lady, and then the kids began to join in. And then all his hard work paid off. Cha-ching! 4 ladies, all to himself. And I was left to wait outside. So with a bit of extra pep in his step, speeds up when the camera comes out. We headed on and had a little snack on the side of the road. We'll stop, make a little banana peanut butter jelly chapati. Kyle will play some music for the masses and people will start to gather. It's a bloody beautiful way to play out your day. These experiences are really the best part of doing bike travel, and they'd all turned out for photos, including this guy who just spat some straight fire.
That made me happy is just I can meet a lot of people. I can exchange my ideas with different kind of people, and I can learn a lot of things from different kind of cultures. That's all. For the view of the world, I think they need to visit Africa. There's a lot to learn and a lot to enjoy about. We have a lot of national parks here. We have a lot, everything they need to enjoy on a vacation, education, everything here we got it here.
Amazing. With those words of wisdom, we kept rolling. Alright, if this isn't a sign that you've been in Africa for long enough to assimilate, I see this sign. I assume that it means there's actual zebra animals crossing the road, not that there's some painted lives on the road that people are going to walk over. Although no zebras here, there were plenty of Ankole cows, very similar to the ones that we'd find in South Sudan. They were also accompanied by these super trendy shepherds. Background, but you can definitely see it. It's about to bucket. It's thundering like crazy. And thank the Lord, it's the one day that we managed to finish early because we did a short day. So we're about to be witness to some pretty epic scenery. There was a buzz in the air as the rain began to fall, and it was an honour to be there, as the importance of rain in this part of the world cannot be overstated. We went to bed with the pitter-patter of rain on the roof and bellies full of chips my eye.
Bon appetit.
It is the Katabi National Park, and not only is it extremely high density of wildlife, which we've already had the pleasure of riding for a number of times, it's the tsetse flies. And the tsetse flies are these little, well, big flies, and no matter you're wearing head covering, long clothes, thick clothes, they will bite you hundreds of times, and they carry African sleeping sickness or trypanosomiasis, which you can die from. So I'm not really that keen. It's only 50 kilometers through the park, so Adam, this guy, was nice enough to take us. This part of Africa was surprisingly sparsely populated as we headed deeper into the jungle. Bicycle.
Apenda mimi. Penda sana. Safi sana.
Go, go, go! As it had a few days before, the road eventually ran out, and this time, well, it became absolutely nothing. This is what we're dealing with here. We are out here in the absolute middle of the jungle on day 35 of this weird Mzungu following. Oh, he's coming. Hey, hey man. Yeah, you get up there all right. He's still following me. Sorry. So with the Mzungu hot on my tail. Hey, keep going, you bloody knob jockey. We ran into an unexpected surprise. Right, so we're trying to find the bottom of this waterfall, and we've just come in this overgrown path. Travelling along this rarely used path, we didn't have very high hopes, but after about 10 minutes, this waterfall hadn't been marked on any map, and we couldn't help ourselves but to try and climb up and get a better view.
As Alex would say, we are out here, people. I couldn't even tell you where we are.
Full of energy, we jetted off into the jungle to find a camp spot. So, we are out here. We have found a nice little wild camping spot, which wasn't actually as wild as we thought it was. Some guys just walked past before, so you're never actually far from a village as a bus goes by there. But it's a good little spot, it's near the water. It was a great day. We haven't wild camped in a long time just because there's so many villages around. And we are going to be treated to a nice little fire under the stars tonight. Will be quite delightful. Maybe some would say romantic, but not in this country for two men.
Gotcha.
Good morning. I've woken up this morning and Kai's not feeling too crash hot, so we're gonna have to work out how to get out of here because I don't think he can ride his bike.
Unfortunately, the road out wasn't so easy, but we did come across a little oasis in the jungle that was serving up delicious food. Hakuna shida. As fun as it was to people watch here, after many days without seeing anyone, Kai was kind of on his deathbed, so it was time to get him to Goma. The guys were even nice enough to keep their seatbelts off so that the buzzing sounded like we were already at the hospital. I was worried for Kai, although my motives to get to Goma were not solely that. So there was one reason, and one reason only, that we were pushing hard to get to Goma, doing about 1,000 Ks in the last 10 days. Two reasons. I'll show you them right here.
Welcome to Congo.